Welcome to the UMKC Student Union, where many students, faculty, and staff have returned after an absence due to the pandemic. Though we are still socially distanced with limited capacities while on campus, it's been an undeniable pleasure to see our RU family again. And this, our student hub, felt like the perfect place to film our show presenters as we honor those RUs who have come before. Please welcome our host, Chris Longley.
Hello, I'm Chris Longley. In addition to being a financial advisor with Merrill Lynch, an executive MBA alumnus of the Henry W. Block School of Management, and a UMKC trustee, it is my honor and privilege to serve as the president of the UMKC Alumni Association. On behalf of my fellow alumni governing board members, we welcome you to something quite new for us, our virtual UMKC Alumni Awards. Today, we're celebrating the Alumni Awards class of 2020. It was our intention to honor them in person at this point last year, but we were forced to postpone the event. The pandemic may have altered our course, but it didn't dim our desire to celebrate our outstanding alumni. Each year, the UMKC Alumni Association recognizes individual alumni and one family with top honors. Today, our inductees include a national leader in radiology, a corporate immigration attorney, a Latin Grammy Award winner, scientists, entrepreneurs, educators, leaders in the healthcare field, and so many more. All of our awardees have one thing in common: excellence, and we are proud to tell you their stories. First, I'd like to welcome UMKC Chancellor Molly Agrawal to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this celebration. Whether we are gathering in person or in this virtual experience, coming together to recognize the accomplishment of our graduates brings us tremendous pride. This event stands as a great reminder to us, to faculty, staff, students, alumni, and friends of UMKC, that our university has had the pleasure to be a part of the development of these great RUs. I want to take a moment to thank the Alumni Association for the hard work you put into this event every year, and for your commitment to telling our story. Your support of this event and the students of UMKC makes an undeniable impact on this community, and we thank you. To our class of 2020 honorees, though we are apart today, we look forward to the time when we can welcome you back to a beautiful campus for an in-person visit. Until then, enjoy the show and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Agrawal. We want to add a special thanks to the Alumni Awards Selection Committee, chaired by the Honorable Margene Burnett, our Vice President of Recognition. Every year, the committee takes on the challenge of choosing award recipients among all of the year's amazing nominations. They're dedicated volunteers that help bring this event to life, and we thank each and every one of them. And now, to introduce you to our first set of awardees, I'll turn it over to our three event co-chairs.
Hi, my name is Stephen St. John. I'm the host of Kansas City's sports morning show, The Border Patrol, on Sports Radio 810 WHB. I'm an alumnus of the UMKC College of Arts and Sciences and a recipient of the 2019 Alumni Spotlight Award. As one of the representatives of the awards class of 2019, I congratulate all of the class of 2020 recipients. I'm proud to honor you as a co-chair of this year's Alumni Awards celebration. Our first group of awardees are receiving an Alumni Achievement Award from each of our 12 schools and units. Just before the first telecast of this award show, we celebrated our awardees with a live virtual reception. During that event, each awardee received their physical award. Our Alumni Achievement awardees received a beautiful watercolor painting of our kangaroo mascot by internationally renowned artist Tom Corbin, along with a plaque with their name and award inscribed on it. It's now my pleasure to introduce you to our first awardees. From the Conservatory, Dr. Andres Salguero. From the School of Education, Mary Delek. And from the College of Arts and Sciences, John Couture.
As a young child in Bogota, Colombia, Andres Mauricio Salguero learned English from workbooks and cassette tapes that his mother found at a used toy sale. The entertaining and engaging songs have stuck with him ever since. When he began his doctorate degree in music at the UMKC Conservatory, his goal was to become a professor of clarinet. But an unexpected engagement with Kansas City-based children's performer Dino Odell changed his course. I was reminded of my childhood experiences and what made me fall in love with music in the first place, Andres says. In 2009, Andres performed his first Uno, Dos, Tres, Andres show in Grant Hall at UMKC. He called upon the workbooks and tapes of his youth, creating children's music with English and Spanish lyrics. In 2017, his partner and wife, Christina, joined Uno, Dos, Tres, Andres. The couple has performed throughout the United States and Latin America and released 4 acclaimed studio albums, including Arriba Abajo, which received a Latin Grammy Award, the Parents' Gold Choice Award, and was added to the American Library Association's notable children's recording list. Hola Amigo, Andres' first book, adapted from his songs, will be released by Scholastic in 2020 and will feature text in Spanish and English. Our greatest goal is to connect children and families to celebrate and learn about Latin heritage and Spanish language, Andres says. We are proud that our songs support children in learning words and phrases in another language, and that the underlying message of multiculturalism, curiosity, and friendship stick in their hearts and minds. For his passion for educating children and uniting cultures, we are pleased to present Andres Salguero with the 2020 UMKC Conservatory Alumni Achievement Award. When Mary Delek was a master's student in the UMKC School of Education, she also worked at a school where her young students were often hungry. Mary recalls many students going without a meal, and she made it her mission to get the school to participate in the federal hot lunch program. Mary says, instead of writing a paper on an imaginary school issue, I was allowed to address and ultimately solve a real problem for that school community. Today, as principal of another Kansas City urban school, Our Lady of Hope, Mary continues to advocate for students in challenging circumstances. More than 85% of her kindergarten through 8th graders qualify for free or reduced lunch, and 96% are ethnic minorities or students of color. Mary says the school's enrollment remains steady at a time when urban Catholic schools across the country are closing. Students cannot truly thrive in the classroom unless their basic needs for survival are being met, Mary says. Educating the whole child means when they are hungry, you feed them. If a student has a toothache and no dental insurance, we connect them to Seton Center. If they need a uniform shirt, we find them one. When anyone in her school has a financial or household need, teachers, parents, and students alike recount how Mary works tirelessly to help connect them to resources and solve the issues. One of her students wrote that she is an amazing principal and does anything in her will to make sure her students get a great education. Mary says, my experience at UMKC formed me as an urban principal and empowered me to always try and look outside the box for ways for my students to succeed. I am proud that after over 30 years, I have never lost my passion for creating a school climate where urban students are encouraged and empowered to reach their dreams, despite stereotypes and statistics that would tell them otherwise. In recognition of her more than 3 decades of educational leadership and her passionate faith in the kids who need her the most, we're proud to present Mary Delek with the 2020 UMKC School of Education Alumni Achievement Award. John Couture turned his idea for a craft beer shop in Kansas City into an essential destination for beer enthusiasts and civic-minded community members alike. During a trip to Europe in 2006 with his best friend and eventual business partner, Dan Kiefer, the vibe of the pubs there appealed to John. He felt they offered a more laid-back, family-friendly version of their American counterparts. Upon his return, he also observed that craft beer was growing in popularity in the Northwest, but hadn't yet made it to the Midwest, and thus the concept for Beer Station was born. Since its founding in 2012, Beer Station has earned national recognition, including ranking in Draft Magazine's Top 100 U.S. Beer Bars in 2013, 2014, and 2015, and being named a Great American Beer Bar by craftbeer.com in 2016, 2018, and 2020. John says he counts himself lucky to have a career shaped by his passion, and that he feels a duty to give back to the community. This is a very important time for our country, and just like corporations can give money to particular candidates, we do use our influence to support causes we believe in, John says. Through his charitable fundraising, John has raised more than $160,000 for causes ranging from veterans programs, animal shelters, and suicide prevention, as well as support for the UMKC Women's Center and Kansas City Roos Athletics. For his entrepreneurial vision and commitment to community, we are proud to present John Couture with the 2020 UMKC College of Arts and Sciences Alumni Achievement Award.
Hello, I'm Joy Wheeler. I'm CEO of the Girl Scouts of Northeast Kansas and Northwest Missouri, and a proud co-chair of this year's Alumni Awards event. I am an alumna from the Henry W. Block School of Management, and I was honored to receive an Alumni Achievement Award from my school in 1997. I would also like to add, on behalf of all previous award recipients, a congratulations to this brilliant class of 2020 awardees. Chris mentioned that all of our awardees have excellence in common. They also share a unique vision for the future in their various fields that inspires those who walk in their footsteps. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our next outstanding group of honorees. From the School of Biological and Chemical Sciences, Dr. Carl Hoff. From the School of Computing and Engineering, Bonnie Gorman. From the Block School of Management, Heather Humphrey. And from the School of Law, Mirim Devani.
Carl Hoff's hand in shaping how we harness the power of chemistry will be felt for generations to come, both through his own unique research and through the many students he's molded into scientists. For nearly 40 years, Carl has taught chemistry at the University of Miami, beloved by his students for his innovative classroom. Carl credits the faculty at UMKC with shaping his style for engaging students. My advisor, Jack Connolly, had a saying about losing students' attention, to the effect that snakes do not have eyelids but thin membranes. When you lose students' interest, you can see the membranes come down over their eyes. The opposite is true. You can see them lift as well, Carl says. In 2001, Carl won the University of Miami's Excellence in Teaching Award, which he says is not an easy thing to do in chemistry. I credit UMKC and the tradition of excellence I experienced as a student. Carl is also dedicated to helping students gain research experience. He's taught more than 10,000 students in his career, several of whom have gone on to key roles in the scientific community. Carl's own research, which has received significant grant funding from the U.S. Department of Energy, seeks a more efficient and cleaner process for making fertilizer. The current methods keep more than half the world's population from starvation, but create toxic byproducts. Carl's research team, which always includes students, hopes to modify a step in the method to convert the waste byproducts to more fertilizer, making the process more efficient, less costly, and better for the environment. For his contributions to his field and his enduring passion for cultivating the next generation of scientists and science lovers, we proudly honor Carl Hoff with the 2020 UMKC School of Biological and Chemical Sciences Alumni Achievement Award. Leadership in difficult times is a hallmark of Bonnie Gorman's career. A mechanical engineer, Bonnie is Director of Modernization and Innovation for Olin Winchester, an industry-leading ammunition manufacturer and current operating contractor of the Lake City Army Ammunition Plant in Independence, Missouri, where she spent more than 20 years in management roles. In 2017, Lake City experienced an event in its explosives manufacturing process that was a single point of failure for all of its operation. The catastrophic incident's immediate impact quickly rippled out to include a shutdown affecting 1,800 workers, as well as the delivery of small-caliber ammunition to the U.S. Army. I was responsible for leading the organization to safely restoring the curtailed operations while implementing new safety measures as expeditiously as possible, Bonnie recalls. This role was riddled with rigorous design reviews and oversight of multiple levels of Northrop Grumman and the Department of Army. For her leadership in restoring the plant's manufacturing ability, bringing it back online within 6 months, Bonnie was awarded the 2017 Orbital ATK Execution Excellence Award. Bonnie's expertise in change management continued to guide her as she led the transition of Lake City to its new operating contractor, Olin Winchester. UMKC's School of Computing and Engineering Alumni Association also benefited from Bonnie's leadership when she stepped in as board president during a difficult transition, helping stabilize membership and grow it into the vibrant board it is today. For her commitment to engineering excellence and her outstanding ability to lead through challenging circumstances, we proudly present Bonnie Gorman with the UMKC School of Computing and Engineering Alumni Achievement Award. Turn on a light anywhere in Kansas City, and chances are good that there's a connection to Block School of Management graduate Heather Humphrey. More than 1.6 million people in Kansas and Missouri count on Evergy to power their homes and businesses. At the core of the company's leadership, Heather serves as Senior Vice President, General Counsel, and Corporate Secretary. She guides the legal, audit, regulatory, and compliance issues for Evergy, which was formed from the merger of Kansas City Power and Light and Westar Energy utility companies. Prior to joining Evergy, Heather was a partner at the law firm of Shugart, Thompson & Kilroy, where she focused on business and employment litigation. But Heather's impact on Kansas City ripples far beyond her professional roles. She recalls that her move to Kansas City after law school sparked her passion for volunteer community service. "I didn't know a soul in town, but really wanted to connect and get involved," Heather recalls. "I quickly learned the secret of Kansas City is its cumulative devotion to public service. Once I leaned in a little, I was hooked." Heather found multiple ways to give back to Kansas City through her volunteerism and civic engagement. As a member of the Greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, she helps support and guide the growth of Kansas City's diverse business community. Heather has worked to keep the arts alive and accessible to all through her roles on the boards of both the Nelson Atkins Museum's Business Council and the Kansas City Friends of Alvin Ailey. Ensuring Kansas City students receive the support they need to grow and reach their full potential has also been a priority for Heather, who has served as a member of the board of the Children's Center for the Visually Impaired and, back at her alma mater, as a member of the UMKC Board of Trustees. In recognition of her outstanding contributions to the fabric of Kansas City's business and civic community, we are honored to present Heather Humphrey with the 2020 UMKC Block School of Management Alumni Achievement Award. Mirim Devani is one of the nation's top corporate immigration attorneys and a tireless advocate for women and children. Her firm, Devani Corporate Immigration Law, guides employers through complex issues involving visas for international personnel, business global mobility, and U.S. corporate immigration compliance. Their training arm, Corporate Immigration Compliance Institute, trains in-house counsel, business lawyers, and human resource personnel on I-9 compliance and global mobility issues. Born in Russia and now a U.S. citizen, Mira says she loves her adopted country and believes part of the reason it thrives is because people from all over the world bring their energy, enthusiasm, expertise, and different points of view. For 20 years, Mira and her firm have provided pro bono services to immigrant women and children in the U.S. who are escaping abuse and domestic violence. In 2019, Mira's firm was honored with the Missouri Bar Pro Bono Publico Award. Mira also serves as a Jackson County Court-appointed special advocate, defending the rights of children removed from their homes due to neglect or abuse. A frequent presence on campus, Mira is an adjunct professor at UMKC and a member of the Law Alumni Association Board and Law Foundation Board of Trustees. For her achievements in her profession and unwavering advocacy for those in need, we are proud to present Mirim Devani with the 2020 UMKC School of Law Alumni Achievement Award.
Hi, I'm George Costello, and I'm President and CEO of Union Station, Kansas City, and co-chair of the Alumni Awards. I am an alumnus of the Block School of Management and was proud to receive the Alumni Achievement Award from my school in 2019. Along with my fellow co-chairs, I add my congratulations to this year's class of outstanding awardees. Now, our final school-based achievement awardees are all members of the health fields, and we send a special thank you to all of our RUs who are frontline workers, not just in the health arena, but in all fields. We see you, and we are so grateful for all you've done. Our awardees from the School of Dentistry, Dr. Nick Rogers. From the School of Dentistry, Dental Hygiene, Cindy Sinsabaugh. From the School of Medicine, Dr. Kevin Blinder. From the School of Nursing and Health Study, Terri Maxwell. And from the School of Pharmacy, Dr. Jerry Baumann.
Since opening his practice in Arkansas City, Kansas in 1979, Dr. Nick Rogers has transformed the region's access to dental care. While serving on the local school board, Nick saw the dire need for dental services for children. Once, he received a call from a school nurse saying that during their Christmas program, a child asked Santa for her mouth to quit hurting. Nick made it his mission to ensure that all children could have access to the care they needed in order to succeed in school. Nick was instrumental to bringing the Head Start program to his community in 1985 and committed to treating any child of the program regardless of medical coverage or ability to pay. To this day, he still honors that promise, saying, "These children are my grandchildren's friends, the ones I sit next to in church and whose parents I run into every day in the community. I have seen that my small contribution has helped improve the lives and broken the poverty cycle for many. That is why I feel that access to dental care for all children is imperative." He's also enacting change on a national scale, serving as president of the American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry's Foundation, and previously as a member of their Board of Trustees. A frequent presence on campus, Nick is on the UMKC School of Dentistry's Reinhardt Foundation Board and started a scholarship to help students in the dental school. In 2008, his son and daughter-in-law, both UMKC RUs, joined his practice, Rogers Family Dentistry. For his determination and commitment to expanding access to dental care, we are pleased to present Dr. Nick Rogers with the 2020 UMKC School of Dentistry Alumni Achievement Award. Cindy Sinsabaugh's career in dental hygiene education has taken her around the globe. As a dental hygienist, Cindy practiced clinically for 10 years before seeking her master's degree at the UMKC School of Dentistry in 2015. She currently manages a team of hygienists for Philips Oral Healthcare. providing continuing education programs for dental and dental hygiene students. She also oversees the courses and serves as the marketing lead for Philips trade show programs. Since 2004, Cindy has presented to audiences in Spain, Scotland, and Ukraine. She credits her hygienist experience and her education with her success guiding colleagues and clients. She says her unique background allows her to provide valuable insight to the development of industry marketing materials and new product launches. Cindy is also a past president of the National Dental Hygiene Society, Sigma Phi Alpha, and an active member in the Greater Orlando Dental Hygiene Association. She gives back to her community in a number of ways, including volunteering with her local Boys and Girls Club and serving as clinical director to Special Olympics Special Smiles. But her most notable and generous act was donating a kidney. I am proud of that because I know the difference it made in the life of the recipient, she says. For her commitment to innovations in dental hygiene, furthering the reach of her field, and to the next generation of providers, we are pleased to present Cindy Sinsabaugh with the 2020 UMKC School of Dentistry Dental Hygiene Alumni Achievement Award. Ophthalmologist Dr. Kevin Blinder has devoted his career to serving patients and educating others. A partner at the Retina Institute in St. Louis, Kevin is a leading specialist in vitreoretinal diseases, which affect the back of the eye and fluid around it. The most common cause of legal blindness in young adults in the U.S. is diabetic retinopathy, a complication Kevin is seeing and treating with increasing frequency as diabetes diagnoses rise at an alarming rate. Once a month, Kevin travels with a crew to Quincy, Illinois, to assist a fellow med school graduate in treating patients in need of specialty care they wouldn't receive without his help. Despite the 15-hour days, he says, "It has been very fulfilling to provide this service and to work in the same office as one of my classmates and dearest friends from my medical school days." In addition to operating on and seeing patients, Kevin has taught at Washington University School of Medicine for 20 years in the Department of Clinical Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences, where he encourages students to find their passion, saying, "If you enjoy what you're doing and find it fulfilling, it becomes a career, not a job." For his commitment to medical service, education, and his compassion for others, we are pleased to present Dr. Kevin Blinder with the 2020 UMKC School of Medicine Alumni Achievement Award. Terri Maxwell's deep care for her patients sparked her entrepreneurial spirit and gave her a global opportunity. Terri's nursing practice in gastroenterology led her to specialize in wound and ostomy care. In treating patients, she quickly discovered they were struggling to obtain the proper supplies and education on how to use them. Terri witnessed poor treatment of patients and says she knew she could do better, which led to her opening her own business, Image Specialties. She contracted with nursing homes, home health agencies, and hospitals to provide pre-operative education, training, and retail supplies for patients facing a new life with ostomy care. Terri says, "I learned so much by starting my own business and trying to build something to better my profession. I also got a lot of doors slammed in my face." Terri's desire to provide more comprehensive care and be able to prescribe patient treatments led her to pursue an advanced practice degree at the School of Nursing and Health Studies. Her business knowledge shaped research she conducted as a graduate student that evaluated competing wound and ostomy products. The product manufacturers asked her to present the findings at an international conference in Europe. And she was one of only 3 nurses retained as primary investigators, developing and testing products for a national supplier. Today, Terri is a sought-after clinician for digestive health specialists, which provides diagnostic care and treatment for diseases and disorders of the digestive tract. For her innovation and creative approach to improving the quality of life for wound and ostomy patients, we're pleased to present Terri Maxwell with the 2020 UMKC School of Nursing and Health Studies Alumni Achievement Award. the first pharmacist to be elected as a Fellow of the American College of Cardiology. Dr. Jerry Baumann has been paving the way for future generations as a pioneering clinical pharmacist, educator, and researcher. For 40 years, Jerry was a fixture in the departments of pharmacy practice and medicine at the University of Illinois at Chicago, where he served as a professor, assistant head for research, and director before being named Dean of the College of Pharmacy in 2007. An active mentor to residents and fellows, Jerry enjoyed seeing students go on to make valuable contributions and become recognized in their own right. Under his leadership, the College of Pharmacy was consistently ranked among the top 5 U.S. colleges of pharmacy for research and academic programs. During his tenure in Chicago, Jerry's research on the clinical pharmacology of cocaine and cardiovascular drugs, specifically antiarrhythmic medicines, earned him international recognition. His findings on how to reverse cocaine's effects changed the treatment for patients with overdoses and remains the standard practice today. Now, as editor-in-chief of the Journal of the American College of Clinical Pharmacy, Jerry remains active in the field and helps other clinical pharmacists get their work published. For his contributions to pharmacy and improving the lives of patients, as well as his commitment to future generations, we are proud to present Dr. Jerry Baumann with the 2020 UMKC School of Pharmacy Alumni Achievement Award.
Those were our incredible school-based Alumni Achievement awardees. Before we introduce you to our final group of awardees, we want to talk about the other reason we gather every year for this signature event. Our Alumni Awards celebration doubles as a scholarship fundraiser. Celebrating our awardees and all that they have accomplished also spotlights the endless possibilities for the future of our current students. Simply put, the funds we raise help the next generation of RUs along their journey. We asked Tia Kawaji, one of our trustee scholars, to talk about what scholarship support means to her.
Hi, I'm Tia Kawaji, and I'm a pre-dental student with a major in biology and a minor in chemistry and business administration. I'm proud to be speaking on behalf of fellow classmates who, like me, have been awarded a scholarship here at UMKC. From a young age, I've always enjoyed my math and science classes and was fascinated by the opportunity they provided to problem solve and apply critical thinking skills. After exploring my interest in the sciences through many of my high school classes, I knew that I wanted to major in biology. However, coupled with my interest in biology is my passion for dentistry. After my first experience at the orthodontist, I chose to shadow and explore the field of dentistry and have since then remained committed to pursue this profession. I hope to attend dental school and to one day open my own dental practice in Kansas City. The scholarship that I have is called the Trustee Scholarship. I remember my first week of college, the new trustee scholars got to meet the trustees. During this interaction, I noticed that all of the trustees were excited to get to know us, hear our stories, and most importantly, support us. I, as well as the other scholars, are very appreciative for the support and mentorship we've received, and I know the same can be said for many of the UMKC students who also have a scholarship. Overall, I believe scholarships are so important because not only are you supporting a student, but you're also making an investment in their future, as well as an investment in the future of your community. So thank you to everyone who donates to UMKC scholarships. We all appreciate your support, and we promise to pay it forward.
Thank you, Tia. This year, we're continuing our annual tradition of raising scholarship dollars specifically to pay off student financial holds. Many of our students have dire financial need, with the global pandemic adding additional challenges. A student with a financial hold on their account owes tuition money that needs to be paid in order for them to continue as a student or to obtain their transcripts. When we pay off their holds, many ranging from $100 to $1,000, we're sending a direct message to students that UMKC alumni and friends have enough faith in them and their educational and future dreams to see them succeed. All of us can make sure our students have the opportunity they deserve, the opportunity to become our alumni awardees of the future. Please join us by going to www.umkcalumni.com/2021 to contribute in any amount to student success. We thank you for your support. We would also like to thank our generous event sponsors. Our gold sponsors are Black & Veatch and Burns & McDonnell. Our silver sponsors are the City of Kansas City, Missouri Parks and Recreation, Evergy, and the McCowan Gordon Construction. Our student leader sponsor is Gorman. And our individual sponsors are BOK Financial, Dick and Rui Gibson, Robert Rainier, Dr. Joseph Spolito, Debbie Thompson, and Kathy Webster. And a special thank you to our past alumni awardees and friends who annually contribute to our scholarship fundraiser. We're all very grateful to you all. Now for our final awardees. Like our school-based awardees, our university-wide awardees also received their award at our pre-reception. They each received a bronze kangaroo statue created by the same artist who created our paintings, Tom Corbin. Alumni from any of UMKC's 12 schools and units can be nominated for a university-wide award, making the nomination pool even more deep and diverse. These are the candidates who rose to the top. The Legacy Award recognizes one family with a tradition of attending UMKC. The recipient family must have a minimum of 2 generations of alumni and include at least 3 family members. The nominated family must have a record of outstanding service to the university, the Alumni Association, their community, or profession. We present this year's Legacy Award to the Edelman family, Doris and William Edelman, their sons Mark and Ron, and their grandchild Alexander. As we celebrate this family, we're also grateful for their deep and broad connection to the university and support of students walking in their footsteps, as illustrated by their creation of the Doris Edelman Scholarship in 2020.
The Edelman family's UMKC legacy began when 12-year-old Doris Tager fled Nazi Germany in 1938. Her family traveled to the Netherlands and Cuba before arriving in Kansas City, whose local Jewish community sponsored their voyage. She'd go on to attend Kansas City University, now UMKC, and graduate in 1947 with a bachelor's degree in Spanish and economics. That same year, Doris met her future husband, William Edelman, a fellow Roo who would graduate in 1954 with a bachelor's degree in psychology. He had previously received his Doctor of Osteopathy degree from the Kansas City College of Osteopathic Medicine. Doris had a successful career as a stockbroker and was the first female vice president and partner of B.C. Christopher & Company, where she worked for more than 20 years. William served patients in the heart of Kansas City as a family physician for more than 50 years before retiring in 2001. Each of Doris and William's 3 sons, Mark, Alan, and Ron, have a UMKC connection. Their oldest son, Mark, graduated from the UMKC School of Law in 1975. He chaired the Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Symposium as a student and founded the Theater League, a not-for-profit community-based performing arts organization that presented the best of Broadway to Kansas City audiences for 42 years. Our motto is enhancing the quality of life in the communities we serve with the thrill of live theater. Bringing these great productions to town, where young people can experience them and be enthralled like I am, that's something I hope continues for years and years to come, Mark says of the Theater League. The Edelman's youngest son, Ron, also received his law degree from UMKC in 1982. He'd go on to open one of the region's most successful law practices, Edelman & Thompson, with James Thompson in 1994. Recognized as a top workers' compensation lawyer, Ron's priority is helping injury victims and their families during what can be a financially and emotionally devastating time. Doris and William's middle son, Alan, and his wife, Debbie Sosland Edelman, are longtime supporters of the university through their foundation. Additionally, their son Alexander graduated from the law school in 2012 and started his own firm with two fellow UMKC alumni, Catherine Myers and Sarah Leeson. Alexander was recognized by the National LGBT Bar Association as one of the 40 best attorneys under 40, and recently won a groundbreaking case before the Missouri Supreme Court, establishing that a transgender student who was denied access to the boys' bathroom and locker room had the right to sue his school district for discrimination. From Doris and William to Mark, Ron, and now Alexander, the Edelman's UMKC history spans more than 7 decades of countless accomplishments and deep civic impact. For their individual and family contributions that have shaped and continue to uplift the Kansas City community, we are pleased to present the Edelman family with the 2020 UMKC Legacy Award.
The Defying the Odds Award recognizes one alumnus who has achieved both professional and personal success, despite tremendous obstacles and circumstances. We're proud to introduce you to Hagos and Ibraheem.
From a one-room household in Eritrea, a country in Eastern Africa, to CEO of Taliaferro & Brown, a lead civil engineering firm in Kansas City, Hagos and Ibraheem's hard work and dedication have earned him success in the United States. The youngest of 5 children, Hagos came of age during the Eritrean War for Independence. After many years of colonization, the Eritrean people did not welcome the forced unification of Eritrea with Ethiopia. Although I supported this struggle for independence, engaged in student protests, even spent time in detention, I was more focused on my education at that age, determined to emigrate to the USA to create a better life for myself and family, Hagos remembers. After high school, Hagos took an exam and was one of 30 students in the entire nation of Eritrea to be accepted into the Ethiopian airline pilot training program. Although being a pilot wasn't his dream job, creating a better life and supporting his family was paramount, and Hagos saw the training program as a means to an end, and after all, it brought him to the U.S. Due to an influx of pilots returning to the U.S. after the Vietnam War, Hagos found himself in a new country with his career path abruptly deterred. He credits meeting 2 people with helping him through the rough transition: Julia, the woman who would become his wife and life partner, and Will Taliaferro, who would not only encourage him to pursue engineering, but also would become his mentor. In addition to working, Hagos earned his bachelor's and master's degrees while supporting his family in Kansas City and in Eritrea. After Mr. Taliaferro's death, Hagos and fellow UMKC alumnus Leonard Graham purchased his company. Since then, Taliaferro & Brown, a leader in civil and structural engineering, land surveying, and urban planning and development, with offices in Kansas City and St. Louis, has grown to nearly 60 employees. Their numerous projects in Kansas City include Berkeley Riverfront Park, Science City and Union Station, the Kansas City Power and Light District, the Kansas City Airport Terminal, Hoffman Performing Arts Center, and Arrowhead Stadium. As CEO, Hagos makes it a priority to embrace people from around the world, just as his mentor did for him. And he reflects on how far he's come since his childhood, saying, "The beautiful neighborhood kids remind me of myself as a child, full of hope and potential, born in a place with limited resources and opportunities. The world should recognize every child deserves an equal opportunity to realize their God-given potential. It is for the benefit of all humankind." In recognition of the overwhelming obstacles he overcame, and for his determination that has inspired so many across 2 continents, we are proud to present Hagos and Ibraheem with the 2020 UMKC Defying the Odds Award.
The Bill French Alumni Service Award is presented to an alumnus who has demonstrated outstanding loyalty, commitment, and service to the university and received prominent public acknowledgement for their achievements on behalf of UMKC. We invite you to meet one of our true champions, Jim Pulcinelli.
Jim Pulcinelli's name is synonymous with legal services in Kansas City and across the country. Originally formed in 1972 with two fellow UMKC alumni to serve business and real estate clients, the Pulcinelli law firm has grown to 900 attorneys in 21 offices nationwide and is recognized for its excellent client services in areas such as healthcare and financial services, as well as labor, employment, and business litigation. Jim exemplifies an icon in the legal industry. We are incredibly lucky to have a founder who embodies a strong leader, a strong community champion, and a strong attorney, says Chase Simmons, chairman and CEO of Pulcinelli. In addition to his successful legal career spanning more than 5 decades, Jim is also known for his ardent and long-standing support of UMKC and the Kansas City community. He is the immediate past chair of the UMKC Board of Trustees, a nonprofit organization made up of civic and community leaders who support and advocate for the university and its students. Among their key programs is the Trustees Scholars Program, a full-ride 4-year scholarship for exceptional high school seniors. Jim is a member of the UMKC Foundation Board of Directors who work to secure philanthropic gifts to advance the university. He has been an alumni advocate for the university with state legislators in Jefferson City. In 2018, Jim co-chaired the UMKC Alumni Awards celebration, honoring outstanding alumni while raising funds for student scholarships. A past president and member of the UMKC School of Law Foundation Board, Jim was also past chair of the School of Law Entrepreneurship Task Force, which aimed to enhance connections between the law school and innovation community. He also supports UMKC conservatory students through events such as Crescendo, the annual Conservatory Benefit Concert. The large role Jim plays in the lives of UMKC students includes his sponsorship of the law school's annual reception for scholarship recipients. He also assists the school with attracting top students, even going so far as writing personal follow-up letters to them. Jim has demonstrated a quiet and powerful day-to-day commitment to build the reputation and ensure the quality of the university. There are many ways an alumnus can serve his alma mater, but recruiting students and hiring graduates may be among the most important and least noticed, says Barbara Glessner-Fines, Dean of the UMKC School of Law. A hallmark trait of Jim's style is his ability to inspire others and empower them to act. It is hard to imagine how anyone who has built the second largest law firm in Kansas City could find the time and tremendous energy he has displayed in several capacities supporting UMKC, says Leo Morton, Chancellor Emeritus of UMKC. Jim's passion for service to Kansas City extends beyond UMKC and includes work with the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority, Rockhurst High School, and the Kansas City Metropolitan Bar Association. Jim is transparent and engenders deep trust in his relationships, says Doran Hudson, Vice Chair of the UMKC Board of Trustees. In addition to driving toward clear goals, Jim is a master of the hows and brings people along with warmth, grace, and humor. For his enduring passion for community and dedication to future generations of UMKC Roos, we are proud to present Jim Pulcinelli with the 2020 UMKC Bill French Alumni Service Award.
The Spotlight Award recognizes alumni whose accomplishments in leadership have caused regional and national attention to be focused on the university and the metropolitan area. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Mark McHenry.
Mark McHenry retired as director of the City of Kansas City, Missouri's Parks and Recreation Department in 2018, but the impact of his 44-year career will endure for generations to come. A member of the National Recreation and Parks Association since 1984, Mark led a number of projects in his role for Kansas City, including adding 34 parks, 6 community centers, and leading the renovation and expansion of the Liberty Memorial. He was at the helm of the total renovation of the Kansas City Zoo in the early 1990s, From hiring design and construction firms and staying on time and on budget to ensuring public support, he recalls the project as particularly rewarding. Former Kansas City Mayor Sly James, who worked with Mark on several projects, says, "I'm continually impressed by his passion for his work and his great attention to detail. I am also impressed by his willingness to go the extra mile in order to complete a project or task." In recognition of his extraordinary work, the city renamed a park in his honor in Northwest Kansas City. A perennial ambassador for UMKC, Mark has lent his expertise to the Henry W. Block School of Management as a member of the Public Affairs Advisory Council and helped to develop the Executive Masters of Public Administration program. He says, "As Kansas City's urban university, UMKC is an integral part of our community and can assist in setting public policy, regional planning, and provide a fresh perspective on issues challenging our city." Mark's dedication to being a voice for urban conservation hasn't waned. He is currently a business development specialist with Oxner Hair & Hair, a landscape architecture and planning design studio with the Olson Engineering firm. In 2018, he was appointed to the Missouri Conservation Commission by Governor Mike Parsons for a 6-year term. As one of 4 appointed commissioners with the Missouri Department of Conservation, Mark helps set all policies and budget for the state agency that manages more than 1 million acres of land and regulates all fishing, hunting, and forests in 114 counties in the state. I have always had a love of nature and the outdoors. In my early years growing up in Iowa, I always wanted to be outdoors and learning and enjoying all it had to offer. That carried over into a profession in parks and recreation, and now conservation, Mark says. For his commitment to beautifying the region and his hand in shaping the outdoor experience for all of Kansas City, we are pleased to present Mark McHenry with the 2020 UMKC Spotlight Award.
And finally, the UMKC Alumnus of the Year Award recognizes one who has achieved eminence in their professional field, made contributions to education, science, the arts, or human welfare of national or international significance, and rendered outstanding service to society. It gives us great pleasure to say our Alumnus of the Year is Dr. Alexander Norbash.
Every profession has its pioneers. Dr. Alexander Norbash's innovations have transformed how health professionals treat and prevent the disruption of blood flow to the brain, the root cause of damaging and often deadly strokes and aneurysms. Alex's clinical practice and research harness powerful engineering technologies to push cutting-edge advances in medicine. An interventional neuroradiologist at the forefront of his specialty, Alex has spent his career pioneering new approaches and devices for correcting blood flow issues to the neck and brain. Alex's passion for robotics and interventional simulations fueled his vision for the future of minimally invasive procedures for patients. He has been active in developing novel materials and devices such as ultra-thin stents and injectable compounds used to stop bleeding from blood vessels. And he was among the first to develop the technique of stenting the carotid and intracranial arteries to treat endovascular diseases. Making patient treatments more effective and less invasive has been a hallmark of Alex's work, and it's a focus he says has its roots firmly planted in his time at UMKC's School of Medicine. UMKC put the patient at the center of my universe from day one, Alex recalls. In every instance and every day, I see the sacred responsibility we have for patient care at the individual level, even as we simultaneously attempt to become high-achieving, innovative, and exceptional. After graduating from UMKC's 6-year medical program, Alex completed his residency in radiology at the University of Pittsburgh, fellowships in neuroradiology at Stanford University, and earned a master's degree from the Harvard School of Public Health. As his clinical and research programs grew, each step of the way, he mentored students following in his footsteps. Alex directed the Diagnostic and Interventional Neuroradiology Services at Brigham and Women's Hospital and founded its Interventional Neuroradiology and Endovascular Neurosurgical Services. He went on to serve as Radiologist-in-Chief at Boston Medical Center and Chair and Professor of Radiology at Boston University School of Medicine, where he was also Assistant Dean for Diversity and Multicultural Affairs. Since 2015, he has been Chair and Professor of Radiology at the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine. He also serves as Associate Vice Chancellor for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, guiding climate and professional development across campus. He is the founding faculty director for BlueLink, a team-based biodesign certificate course for students from engineering, business, and medicine. Never too busy for his alma mater, Alex also served as a member of the UMKC School of Medicine's National Board of Alumni and Partners. Alex encourages students to invest in relationships, concentrate on forging ties with mentors who believe in you and whom you can believe in, he says. The outcomes of Alex's work led to national roles and entrepreneurial ventures. He is founding chair of the American College of Radiology Head Injury Institute, which seeks to standardize reporting of traumatic brain injuries and has been funded by the Department of Defense. With many of his pioneering devices now in wide clinical use, Alex has co-founded 4 startup companies for endovascular tool development and 1 imaging core laboratory. One of Alex's colleagues wrote that he has the rare combination of success in both depth and breadth. He has succeeded in interventional radiology, but he has also built bridges to other disciplines. Another colleague described Alex's commitment to patients as highly influential in changing the culture of our entire specialty, and the work he leads at the Head Injury Institute will make a difference in the lives of millions. In recognition of his lasting impact on the lives of countless patients and the health professionals who treat them, we're honored to present Dr. Alexander Norbash with the 2020 UMKC Alumnus of the Year Award.
Hello, my name is Alexander Norbash, and on behalf of my fellow class of 2020 UMKC Alumni Awardees, I thank UMKC for giving us more than wonderful memories. I thank UMKC for forging our sense of purpose, contributing to the betterment of society, and providing us with a livelihood. On behalf of my fellow alumni awardees, I thank UMKC, the Alumni Association, which has honored us so. Words cannot effectively express our gratitude and thanks. I also thank our teachers and our professors, whose selfless dedication to education and excellence cannot be overstated. I thank my classmates, our administrators, and every unsung member of the UMKC family who created a wonderful and unique environment, making our education and experiences possible. I thank Dean Harry Jonas for his kindness and remarkable leadership as he created the strong and enduring foundation for a remarkable new medical school. I thank Dr. Igraine Diamond, who envisioned and created the medical school along with Dr. Richardson Novak, a brilliant and patient teacher, Dr. Marjorie Searage, the ultimate example of a respected and powerful physician scientist, and Dr. Bill Searage, a kind and thoughtful master clinician. I applied for medical school and undergraduate combined in 1979, 42 years ago, and 6 short years after the first graduating class of the UMKC School of Medicine. I grew up in Platte City. UMKC was always at the center of my attention. On arriving as a student, I was overwhelmed with a sense of warmth and community. UMKC has given me a lifetime of memories, whether memories of strolling across campus between classes, having the opportunity to take an outstanding literature class, appreciating the insightful musings of our philosophy professor coach on the soccer club team, or enjoying the wisdom and presence of our peers. It was a wonderful time. This was truly the best of places. Since that long ago time, I consistently and accidentally meet UMKC graduates. Our graduates are dedicated, remarkable, compassionate, successful, and shining examples. I'm so proud and grateful to be a fighting kangaroo. What could be a better mascot? Feisty, exotic, and full of boundless energy. I'm unworthy of this award, as I compare myself with my many brilliant and accomplished UMKC brothers and sisters who are truly more deserving. In closing, please allow me to thank my mother. She has been a lifelong educator and has taught me the most important things in life. She taught me the essential need and framework that education provides in one's life. I, above all else, self-identify as an educator. In education lies all the future hope for mankind. It was my mother who rang the UMKC bell the loudest and set my course. For that, and for all the many things that mothers do, I owe her an unrepayable debt of gratitude. UMKC, you are always in my heart. You are always in my thoughts. Thank you for everything.
Congratulations to Alex and all of our awardees. Thank you for being with us today as we celebrate the wonderful and inspirational accomplishments of our UMKC Class of 2020 Alumni Awardees.